Tonight, 13 people are charged in a fraud scheme targeting grandparents across the country, swindling them out of millions of dollars, all by pretending to be their grandkids over the phone. We've heard this before. Oko Manna joins us in studio. Oko, you're learning some of the victims from our area, and they lost a lot.
Yeah, that's right, Len. This charging document states that 2 people who were targeted were elderly folks in Conroe. Tonight, we're asking what you can do to protect yourself from a similar scheme.
The harm done here was significant. Retirements delayed, inheritances lost, lives turned upside down.
The FBI says at least 400 elderly folks across the U.S. were targeted by scammers who racked up more than $5 million in stolen money.
Elderly victims received calls from someone pretending to be a grandchild in urgent distress.
Court records show an elderly man in Conroe lost more than $12,000 after a caller pretending to be his grandson said they got in a car accident. Another elderly man from Conroe lost a similar amount of money.
Many of these scammers are extremely good at what they do. They know how to manipulate people. They know how to play on emotions.
Authorities say the suspects used pre-written scripts to convince their victims, with the alleged scammers even keeping track of their victims on leaderboards in their HQ in the Dominican Republic. The suspects also allegedly used unsuspecting Uber drivers to transport the cash, which was laundered and sent offshore.
We are in a scamdemic.
Erin West runs Operation Shamrock, a nonprofit that fights against scams.
You're not even thinking about whether or not this is actually your grandchild. You're thinking your grandchild's calling and there's a crisis.
What are some tips for people to not fall victim to these kinds of scams?
Anytime that you are asked by an authority to do something immediately, you need to take a breath.
Financial advisor Christopher Hensley also says what scammers are asking for can be a sign something is fishy.
Should that be a red flag that this was cash money that was being asked for?
I'm shaking my head in fear. Yes. So the idea that if they're asking for physical hard cash, most places don't work that way anymore.
Yeah, one of my grandfathers, Orko, used to say that term, cash money. What else can you do to be careful here?
Yeah, well, Len, the DOJ says that when you're talking with your family members in emergency situations, to have some kind of a phrase or a word or a code that you can use that when your family member is calling you and you're dealing with that kind of situation, that you can verify their identity, especially right now during the rise of AI, because sometimes it can be hard to tell who they are. And we're also told that family members should just be on the lookout for any warning signs. So if your parents or grandparents are withdrawing large amounts of cash, or if they're, acting frantic or panicking over the phone with you, that's a sign that something might be going on.
Yeah, urgency, always a red flag. Orko, thank you.